Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and I am here in my tutorial world for the industrial craft agriculture. Uh, just as a disclaimer, there are some things in here that are not part of industrial craft in case you are concerned, like these blocks. These are from a different mod. I am doing this in the Feed the Beast mod pack, so don't be too disturbed if you don't have some of this stuff in industrial craft. That being said, in the first two episodes of this series, I went over the basics and getting started with the agriculture aspect of industrial craft. I showed you some of the tools that you will or may need in getting your crops going and doing the crossbreeding, getting that going, including the crops themselves, the fertilizer, the weed X, the hydration cell, the crop matron, and the Cropnalyzer. I also demonstrated that the different crops that are available only through crossbreeding can all be obtained from any other plant, given enough time and enough patience. But in this episode, what I want to focus on is what you can get from the different plants, as well as what the Cropnalyzer is good for, as well as what these seeds were. I got these seeds near the end of the second episode, and what I'm going to do now is show you what the Cropnalyzer is about. And I'm making sure I'm not on creative mode. The Cropnalyzer, and I guess it would be fair to show what the recipe for that is real quick. The 2 copper cable, 2 redstone dust, a block of glass, and an electronic circuit will get you 1 Cropnalyzer. Now, the Cropnalyzer is used for analyzing not only the crops that you have planted, like for instance this wheat here, and it only works on the crops that are planted on the actual crop item. If I right click on it, it says wheat, but if I right click on this, which is a normal vanilla wheat growing on tilled dirt, it doesn't do anything. It opens up the GUI for the Cropnalyzer. The reason for that is this will only activate on crops that are of the industrial craft mod. This here is a wheat, and this one is a crossbreed, and since the Cropnalyzer doesn't know what it is yet, it says unknown crop. Alright, now all 6 of these were obtained from the second episode, the previous one to this, when I cleared out a row from the wheat field over there, and I'm going to put them in to the Cropnalyzer. The first thing you are going to notice is that it doesn't tell you much on the first try. It says wheat. Well, obviously it came from wheat plant, so we're going to get wheat seeds, but it does know that they are now wheat seeds. If you put it in a second time, and each time you run it through there, it uses energy, and it uses progressively more. This will tell you the tier of the seeds that you're examining. The tiers go from 1 to 8, and I honestly have no idea what they represent. If they represent difficulty in achieving, then it makes no sense to me, because I have gotten literally every single plant in industrial craft rather. I have gotten every single one from just wheat. So I have no idea what the tier represents. I could not tell you. If you know, please feel free to tell me. Because it is a mystery to me. Anyway, the third time you run it through the Cropnalyzer, it'll tell you some of the keywords for it. It says yellow, food, wheat, and who it was discovered by and all that. Notch, obviously the creator of Minecraft. And then lastly, if you put it in a fourth time, and you can see it really drained the crystal, energy crystal on that one, you get this information: the growth, the gain, and the resistance. A little bit of information about these. First off, they can be a number from anywhere from 0 to 31. And for growth specifically, the higher the number, the faster the crop will grow. However, if you get beyond a certain point, I think it's like 24 or 25, it will rapidly increase the rate at which weeds grow around it, and it will itself act as a weed. So you want to kind of stay below that. About 20-ish is good for fast growth of your plant without being overwhelming. Secondly, the gain is with respect to what you can get out of the crop, as in the actual product. A wheat plant will give you wheat. A pumpkin plant will give you pumpkin. A rose will give you not only roses, but also the rose petals for dyeing. And this, like I said, goes from 0 to 31. The higher the number, the lower the chance that you will have of getting seeds out of the plant when you harvest it. So do be careful with that. Again, 20 is a good number for that. You can still get a reasonable amount of seeds out of a field of the size that I've made for this map to replenish your stock, but try not to go too high. The third thing on here is the resistance. This applies to how resilient it is to being walked on and jumped on, as well as blast resistance. The higher the number, the better. However, the higher the resistance, the lower the speed and the chance at which it will crossbreed with a nearby plant. So again, 20 is a good number to go for on this. The way you get the numbers to go up on these, and I will show you here, this is a 0 to 4 instead of saying unknown seeds, and I'll run these through the mill. The way you get the numbers to go up, and you can see though they're both wheat seeds, they have different values, is by crossbreeding high number ones with other high number ones. And I'm going to hopefully get another 4 or maybe a 3. There's a 3. And lastly, oh, what am I doing? 220, 210, 121, 210, 024, and 310. Now, if I were to plant these two next to each other, or near each other, and then between them put a crossbreed crop, what would happen is this would stand a high chance of providing the growth of 3, while this would stand a high chance of providing the resistance of 4 and the gain of 2. So the values will start to go up, and the seeds that you would get from the resulting plant would stand a chance of being even higher than what you put in. So you can use this method with wheat seeds to get stronger and stronger and better wheat seeds. But like I said, don't overdo it, because you can create a plant that is very hard to keep up with. Now, as you saw, I did 6 of these seeds, and it took the energy crystal down to about 3/10 of the power. I can probably get one, my math is fuzzy right now, maybe 2 more seeds out of this before I have to replace the energy crystal. So do keep that in mind. It takes a bunch of juice in order to use the Cropnalyzer, but if you want to have high output plants with fast growth and good resistance, you are going to need to excuse me, I apologize. I'm still not used to talking this much. You are going to need to um, keep track of the output seeds. So it's worth investing in the power. As long as you have like a solar array or some strong source of power, you can keep replenishing the energy crystals or rechargeable batteries. A rechargeable battery is just about the same amount of juice as it takes to fully identify one seed. So that's why I'm using an energy crystal here. Now, I'm going to set the time to dawn. I am going to get rid of these seeds because doing the actual crossbreeding should be something that you experiment with. I'm just trying to show you a tutorial here. Now, what I'm going to do for these plants, these are the crossbreed only plants, is show you what they provide, and then I'm going to try to get a seed bag from them. This is called Ventimiglia, and one of the aspects of the Ventimiglia, since I planted these by hand, you can see that they have preset numbers, and this is what happens when you plant a seed bag. First off, you can get purple dye from them, but secondly, the Ventimiglia specifically, and that's the dark purple flower, will increase the rate at which weeds will grow and spread around them. There are currently no weeds, so it's not going to have any effect, but do watch out if you get these in a field and you don't have a crop matron or you're not staying on top of it. It can come back and bite you if you're not careful. So that's purple dye from the Ventimiglia. This one is called Pharaoh, and if I right click with this, you can see that they all have different stats. I planted them with the seed bag. Now, if I right click normally, I'm not getting anything out of these. There's a reason for that. The Pharaoh, in order to produce its fruit, requires... let me go back into creative mode real quick. Underneath it, in one of these two positions under the tilled dirt, it requires an iron ore. And let's see here, iron ore. So if I have the plant regrow, hopefully I'll get a seed bag out of it. Oh, I'm in creative mode. Let's see here, Pharaoh. If I have that regrow, because it has iron ore in that position or in that position, directly under it, it will produce iron dust. Now, the reason why I didn't have that preset is so you could see that it does have a requirement in order to produce the crop that it has. Now, this one is called stickweed, and what stickweed does, and these were all planted by way of seed bag. What stickweed has, aside from looking just like sugarcane, and it still is stickweed, good. You saw at first I was able to get sticky resin off of it. Then I was able to get sugarcane. It is a sugarcane plant as sticky resin. That's really all there is to it. There's no requirements, and this actually grows really fast. So once you get some stick reeds, you can get sticky resin much more consistently than you can from the actual rubber trees. And I'm going to leave these like this so they can regrow. The next plant is hops. Hops is used for making beer and I think maybe mead. And it looks just like wheat, only instead of having the golden tips, it has the more greenish tinge to it. And I'm going to do this. And there's some hops. The next plant is coffee. And coffee looks just like the Pharaoh over here and the Orillia right here. However, and you can only right click to get the coffee off of it, and it will regrow the coffee. When you right click, you get a chance to get coffee beans, and that's used for making a few things in IndustrialCraft, at least 2 different kinds of coffee. There's no special requirements for this, but it will look just like those 2 plants until it matures. This next plant is Orillia, and I'm going to right click on this to show you that it is not doing anything at all. The reason for that is the atomic symbol for iron is Fe, and that's where Pharaoh comes from. And the atomic symbol for gold is Au, and that's where that name comes from. So I'm going to get some gold ore now and put it under there. And I don't need that anymore. And this time I'm going to remember to come out of creative mode and right click on that. And I didn't get a seed from it, so I need another one of those. I will plant this there and let that regrow, so you can look at that when you download this map. But this, just like the Pharaoh over there, requires a gold ore, not the gold block that you get from combining ingots, but the actual ore, unsmelted, in that position or in that position under that tilled dirt that it's on. And that will produce gold dust that you can use for making gold. The next plant is a tulip, and it looks very similar to the Ventimiglia over there, only it's a lighter purple. However, it still produces the purple dye. And it is, there's nothing special to it. It doesn't produce anything other than the purple dye. The only difference is it doesn't increase the rate at which weeds will spawn. The next plant is called blackthorn, and if you don't like going after squids, you'll love this plant. Ink sacs. You get ink sacs from it, and they will regrow after you right click harvest them, and they actually grow pretty quickly, and I have gotten them from every single plant that there is in IndustrialCraft. So this is a great way to get ink without having to go swimming for squids. So that's pretty nice. The next plant is, I presume this is pronounced cyanescent, after the color cyan, because you get cyan dye from it. Nothing special. And the last plant here is called Terra Wart, and it looks just like netherwort and can be gotten from crossbreeding netherwort. However, the Terra Wart has a special ability, and if you eat it, it increases, I believe, resistance and speed for a very brief amount of time. So it is a food thing. I don't believe there is any recipe that uses it. Let me double check here. No, it is just for a minor temporary boost to some of your stats. And that will regrow. It starts off looking just like netherwort, but it will regrow into the Terra Wart. Now the last plant that has to be crossbred is rather unique, and I believe I'm going to need some redstone dust for this, which is I'm not seeing it. A red... oh, there it is. Alright. The reason why I have this building here, and it may look like it's putting off light, but it's not, is because this is called red wheat, and it looks just like regular wheat, only it's got red tips instead of green tips like the hops, or golden tips like the wheat. Red wheat has some pretty specific criteria for growing. It needs to have a light level between 5 and 10, which is why I have these redstone torches, because they put out 7. So it won't grow any higher than 10. It won't grow any lower than 5. It needs a very specific range to grow. And so I have it set aside from the sunlight in its own little enclosed area. First off, one of the things that is useful to know about the red wheat is that it by itself will put off a redstone signal. And I had a redstone already there on the floor to demonstrate that. And you can see that it is just putting off the signal by itself. Next thing is that you can stand a chance of getting wheat, but it also gives you redstone dust. And back here I have the crop matron providing for it like I had on all those other ones. But I have to have the entire thing enclosed, otherwise it won't grow. It will not be produced from crossbreeding either unless it has a light level between 5 and 10. So that is all the crossbreeding results that you can get from IndustrialCraft. Now, like I said earlier and in the previous videos, you can get any of the plants from any of the other plants. Some of them need special conditions, and some of them do need special conditions for producing their output. But, and you can see the stickweed here regrew its sticky resin really, really fast, and the rest are just playing catch up. That is actually, I guess that's pretty much really all there is that you need to know for doing the crossbreeding. Each of the plants stands a chance of putting out the seeds to be identified using the Cropnalyzer. It's not a 100% chance on any of them. A quick recap, these over here are the plants that are only available by crossbreeding. These are the farms of crossbreeding a plant with itself, and I have them all labeled: pumpkin, sugarcane reeds, wheat, so on and so forth. This is an example of how they look in vanilla versus how they look in IndustrialCraft. And over here, I have an array of permutations of the vanilla plants with all the other vanilla plants aside from themselves. And the way I have each of these set up is, in this instance, netherwort, and then dandelion, and on the other side symmetrically, netherwort and dandelion. And then in between them are crossbreeds. Excuse me. Now, the way I have it set up here, there is a chance that the plants would crossbreed this way, but it is most likely, I have found, to result from... excuse me, I apologize, I'm not used to talking this much. Will result from crossbreeding in the already existing adult plants before it tries to crossbreed from immature plants. So if you want to have a higher chance but closest packed density of crossbreeding from one line to another, grow the ones you're trying to crossbreed from to a mature adulthood before you put the crossbreeds in between them. Let's see here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really need to mention about this. I don't really think there is. There is some information on what plants yield a higher ratio of outputting what new plants, but it has been my experience that it's pretty much the same chance across the board. Like for instance, if I come over here, where was it? I believe it was in the roses first. There it is. Crossbreeding roses with roses, got netherwort. Just on happenstance. Here you can see the blackthorn, more blackthorn. There's blackthorn in I think every single one of these. They are just randomly dispersed throughout, and as long as the conditions are met, and most of the plants, the conditions are met very easily just by having them outside at ground level, able to see the sun and at least 8 blocks of air above them so they don't, I guess, suffocate is a good term for it. So you can try to get nitpicky and crossbreed a melon with a melon to get a specific kind of plant out of it, but as you can see, they randomly output. It really is random, and it's been my experience that it is almost equal output. If I have all of these plants in a 5 to 10 light range, they all stand an equal chance to put out red wheat. So with a big enough crop field, you can literally get everything under the right conditions. Some of the plants are trickier to deal with than others. Some grow really fast while others grow really slow. The cocoa is the slowest and the most in need of babysitting. But that is pretty much all you really need to know about agriculture and crop growing in IndustrialCraft. If I did miss something, please let me know in the comment section below. Also in the comment section, I will have the link for the download of this map so you can look at it in person and get an idea and a feel of what's going on. Let's see here. I really don't think there is anything else that I needed to mention. So, thank you very much for watching and putting up with my random ramblings and scatterbrained back and forth ADHD tutorial here. I hope I covered everything for you, and I hope this is very helpful. If you did like this video, please give it a like if you are so inclined. Any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below, please. I would hate to think that I accidentally left something out that was important for this. If you are wanting like a chart or something, I might be able to make an addition to the download, some sort of graphic that can demonstrate the likelihoods, but it really is pretty much the same for all of them. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. So thank you once again for watching and putting up with me. This is Thorn of Night, and I will talk to you later.